Did somebody went out to walk outside? And Malika, you are muted.
No, I was just giving an excuse. It's been raining. The weather's been very bad.
I did go out for walk.
Okay. Also, you did it, Priyanka? You also didn't do it, or you did it?
I went for a walk.
Oh, did you? Okay. And how was your experience?
I could not concentrate. My concentration was going here and there, but I was trying to pull it, and then uh, so it was. I went at night. I couldn't go early,
Okay.
but I could enjoy the nature around me.
The idea is that after today's explanation, you have a different experience the next time that you go for a walk. Um, Vipassana is something that we can make in three different methods, but basically the objective of Vipassana is that you really connect to, that you really have a meditation. That's the idea of Vipassana. I know that we have meditate sometimes, and I know that many times we say, no, I couldn't concentrate. No, I have the thoughts, I have the feelings. The first step towards Vipassana is realizing that your mind played tricks on you. So that you can have these thoughts coming, these emotions coming, and that we are going to separate ourselves from our mind. And from now on, we are going to be a witness. So, for example, in the book, you're going to find the example of you being in the field watching a crow that starts, I don't know, making any sound. So, for one moment, it's you, the subject, and the crow making the sound, an external stimulation, let's say. But later, when you really interiorize Vipassana as a way of living, as a meditation state, what you see is three. You have your ego mind, that it is very clear, seeing something, seeing a crow, and actually listening to it. And you also see the crow. So you have two, let's say, persons there, and you, the other part of you, who is the witness. And that witness, because it is a witness, doesn't judge. So, for example, you can say, oh, I see this kid screaming. I don't like it. Like, oh, my reaction is that kid screaming is something that I dislike, that my brain already created a judgment by my reaction, just by saying, or I can tell that I already processed that information. The state of Vipassana means that I can listen. I, inside myself, notice that my ego didn't like it, but I don't act or react towards anything. So that's the objective of Vipassana. That we can definitely define a clear division between my ego mind and my higher self. How can we reach this state? The only way that we can reach this state is basically by practicing it. If we don't practice, we never reach that point. Just give me Priyanka. I will ask you also to mute your microphone to see if that is also what it is causing the interference. Yes, it was causing the interference. And Ellie was writing again something. Press don't start, don't see any start. Okay. Let me try to call her again. Uh, it's very strange. Um, which one? A ver. Okay, let's see. Last chance for Ellie to join. All right. So I was explaining that in the method of Vipassana, we have this opportunity of connecting really with our higher self, and it is through the breathing. There is one way, and it is do it through the breathing, just by experiencing our belly going up and going down, or by paying too much attention to the air going inside our nostrils. The idea is to reach an empty mind, but I was explaining that that is like a second step, that you will always reach it with practice. At the beginning, we're going to have these thoughts, we're going to have these emotions. And what are we going to do with that? Do not engage. The idea is that we don't engage with any emotion, with any thought. The idea is that we come back with our attention to our breathing. That's the first way. After we have learned how to deal with that, the idea is that we go to the next step, which is basically have an empty mind. The moment of empty mind is something absolutely fantastic. It's when you have really reached a point where all your brain connections, all your electromagnetic field of your heart, and everything sets up like with the normal beat, with a higher frequency. Is when everything makes a change in order to return to balance. These moments of zero mind, of void. Why? Because the mind is very powerful. The mind is always creating frequencies through thoughts, creating frequencies through emotions. And we are determining our future at every given moment with what we're feeling and with what we're thinking. This is something that we have discussed many times. So in this period of void or of emptiness, which you really don't feel emptiness, you feel completely full, you feel overwhelmed with joy. All your system comes back to center, comes back to balance. So when you reach this moment is when the healing is done, because all your system is reprogrammed by the higher self, by the highest frequency that we can reach. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to think anything. It's actually by doing nothing, by just being, where you can
Adri is gone now.
I can't see anybody.
I can see you. I can see Sumi.
Yeah, I can just see you.
Adri
Can't see anybody.
went off. You can't see anybody. Put the grid view. You'll be able to see somebody. Now you can see somebody. Are you saying something for me? Can't hear you.
No, I'm trying to get everybody on the screen, that large view, but I'm just getting the grid view for some reason.
Yeah, even I'm getting the grid view.
Yeah, the large view is not coming.
Now Priyanka's disappeared. I'm only
Yeah.
getting.
I can see one cat.
I can see
Like,
that Adri. But
oh,
where is she?
hello, ladies. Sorry, I
Okay, we're back.
disconnected because I was answering Ellie that called me in another call, and I was explaining her how to how to join. Hopefully that she got it. And we lost Priyanka.
No, I'm here.
Yeah.
You're here. Okay, great. So where was I? Okay, so I was explaining that there were two methods, right?
Mhm.
The first one is only by breathing. And you decide if you can focus your attention on the belly or if you focus your attention on the breathing. And the other way is by you can do it with your eyes open, you can do it with any type of action. Actually, the Tibetan monks are always doing the practice, and they do it with their daily tasks. So, for example, they go to shower and they are really in the present moment. They activate their five senses in every task they perform. So they are showering themselves, they are feeling the water, they are there, and whatever information that they receive from the outer world, they don't judge it. The water can be cold or can be hot, but it is what it is. It is not what I like. Obviously, they feel, they say, oh, I like it, or I'm burning, or whatever, but they decide to be the witness of that situation instead of engaging with that. Practicing this is that strong that with the time, what happens is that you can get burned and you don't feel it because the power of the mind completely controls the body. I don't know if you have seen these Arab persons that walk. Actually, there are Indian persons that also do it, that walk on fire or on broken glasses, and they decide just to lay down and feel, and maybe their backs get uh, starts bleeding or something. They get hurt, but they are able to control their body to the maximum. How they do it? They detach. They say, this is not what I am. I am higher, greater than this. I am just the witness of what I am facing and doing. This is just to give you an example of how powerful is the mind, especially if you join with the higher self. How can you join your higher self? Without judgment, not engaging in thoughts and in emotions. This is a process. This doesn't come from the day to one day to another, but it's actually reachable. The method of Vipassana that I'm teaching you right now is the one that had created more enlightened persons in the world. There are many methods. There are types of meditations as types of, I don't know, yoga. O sea, thousands of thousands. Vipassana is very easy. Uh, this method is very antique. Actually comes from the Vedas scriptures. But the modern way of calling Vipassana is also like the present time or mindfulness. Maybe you have heard about mindfulness. Mindfulness obviously is a way of meditation that it is being with your five senses at the present moment that gives you a lot of benefits such as enhance your concentration, allow you to be calm, allow you not to react, allow you to manage your emotions. So actually mindfulness is super beneficial. The difference between mindfulness and Vipassana is that mindfulness is something that it is scientifically proven. So they have made many studies, they have put like these knots in the brains of the persons to see what is changing when they meditate, and actually you can see that the hippocampus inside the brain expands. You can see that the insula, which is also under, it's a part in the brain, starts activating. in the electromagnetic fields, they see that you activate more parts of the brain. So like there are many scientific proofs in terms of mindfulness, but mindfulness, because it is a scientific thing, leaves completely aside the part of the divine, leaves completely aside the part that has to do with beliefs, the part that has to do with touching God in your heart, let's say. It is completely scientific and it has nothing to do with the spirituality. The goal of the Vipassana at the end is that when you reach that empty mind, you go to a third state. And it is that in that third state, you are able to contact your higher self, your divinity. And those are the moments of completely excitement. Those are these moments that we call nirvana, that we call like the maximum thing that we can reach in terms of spirituality. It's like feeling one with everything that exists. It's like feeling completely whole, not an emptiness, not a need that I have to go and eat because I'm looking for any type of, let's say, way out or satisfaction, not the need that somebody loves me and that's why I react in certain way. No, it's when you are completely full that you don't need anything else. You are completely full with your own existence. So mindfulness, let's say, it's also an excellent method. It is the starting point of the Vipassana, but it is not the final point. It is not the end. There is something more if you reach that state. Saying this, I think that the best thing we can do is basically practice it. I was trying to join in always Ellie, just one last call, but please prepare yourself for meditating. The first thing that
Angie,
yes,
I have a question. So, with Vipassana, you mean is if you reach the point to Vipassana, your body will forget all your pains that you have, all the inflammations in the body. So, you will be able to detach with the pains of your physical body.
yes. For a period of time, you completely detach from the pains of your physical body. Meanwhile, you are in that state, is not you. And if, let's say that your body can't recover at that time, because maybe it is already very affected. Many people heal just by reaching this state of mind. But let's say that you cannot. There is a man in Brazil that it is called Juan de Dios. He has a very beautiful place, very sacred, where people go to make it's like they go and they pray there and they have a lot of faith. No, he is a person that it is in a wheelchair, let's say, and he cannot move, and he reached that state of mind where he says, I decided to stay in this place because in a way I'm cleaning karma of all the people that comes here. It's a way that I just accept it and give it. And that's why I'm not going to heal. But because he lives all the time in this Vipassana state, he's able to detach from the pains, from all the turbulences that this condition creates to him. It's not that he doesn't feel, it's that he doesn't engage. He never comes down in his state of mind to say, oh, I'm the victim, why did you send me this, why do I have to suffer all that. He lives in complete gratefulness, giving thanks that he's having this and that he's becoming worse in a way because he is cleaning others that come to that place. But that was his decision. That doesn't mean that, like, if you're having a turbulence or everything, obviously you can dedicate that for a good cause. You can say, okay, I accept my pains because I want my family to be okay. So like you can do that, energetically exchange certain things that are very valuable, but it is your decision. It is not how it should be. But he doesn't care because he already witnessed everything. He's completely clear. Vipassana takes you to another point, a very high level in terms of consciousness, that it is not for this course, it is for Reiki 4, and it is when you understand that everything we live is an illusion. This reality is really an illusion, something that we perceive as very tangible because we can touch it, we can see it, we can smell it, perceive it. But really, really, this is not what it is going to last forever. This is just a period of time. A period of time of our eternal existence. And when you are able to see this frame, so I like to see with this wider perspective, everything that happens here changes because you notice that it is not what it is.
Right.
So it is a way of living, having a wider perspective. Many things had to change in our mind in order to be able to live in that way. But this is just the beginning. And why we would like to live in that way? Because we would like not to suffer. And just changing the perspective, in every given situation that you are suffering, just by seeing a wider opening the field of your sight, you can stop the pain, you can stop the suffering. Because when you see the things from another perspective, you understand that there are better things. Yes, Ali.
I just wanted to connect this with what we were discussing last time, and Sumi asked about how a person can experience healing when doing a past life regression. And again, it's connected with this having a wider perspective rather than the very limited subjective perspective of me, I, the ego. So immediately when you get out and you have a different perspective, so you are the observer, not the subject, that definitely helps the healing. And that's what happens when you do a regression into a past life. Basically, yes, it is your life, but you're not there anymore. So you are the observer, yeah? So you see and experience things from a completely different perspective, and that is what prompts or promotes or helps the healing of that particular experience. Sorry, that's just what I wanted to say.
Exactly, and that's how it happens. So when we are able to detach from everything, when there is no desire of anything, there is where we definitely not suffer. There is a sentence of Buddha that I think that I've seen with you, that he says, somebody asks Buddha, I want to be happy. And he says, okay, so remove the I, which is the ego, no? I want to be happy. Removes the want, because want is desire. And then you're happy. If you remove the ego and the desire. Okay, so to start Vipassana, the first thing that we're going to do.
Sorry, you said remove the I, which represents the ego, and remove what else?
Want. Somebody asked Buddha, I want to be happy.
The want. Because that expresses it. Yeah. Sorry, we didn't quite get that. Thank you.
See, when you want something so much, internally, it's for your subconsciousness, is it like if you lack that thing. Instead of knowing that you have it, but maybe in that moment you're not experiencing it, when you say, I want this, means that you don't have that. And then it's a condition of suffering, right? When you understand that you have everything because you are the creator, then you don't need to have anything else. So it's just changing the perception, just changing the way that you think.
again, this also has a link. We saw this in one of our lessons. Do you remember that we worked on the law of least effort?
Yeah.
Yeah, that we mentioned that. And again, that is not when you are in that law, the law of the least effort, you are not actually wanting. Because when you are in that obsession of wanting, is because you don't trust it enough. So you're constantly, I want this, and there is not enough trust. The law of the least effort says if you have enough trust, you just say what you want, hand it in, forget about it. Yes, that's the least effort. Just give it in to, the universe. Yes, and it will happen. If it is meant to be for you and for your highest good, then it will happen. So I just wanted to bring you back to that lesson if you remembered, which you all don't.
Great, agree. All right, so let's be in our meditation position, please. And you're going to need to have a pen and a paper to start at the beginning. And the first 5 minutes of our meditation, you're going to write everything that comes to your mind. Any sensation that comes to your body. Any feeling that may cross your mind. Why? Because we are going to empty the mind first. The idea is that your mind gives everything into the paper to see if we can reach a little bit of this beautiful state of Vipassana. So for a moment, close your eyes, take a deep breath. Please, Priyanka, mute yourself. Just to start. And start breathing. Long, deep. You can close your eyes if you want, or you can do it by looking down, not focusing on anything, with a very relaxed sight. You just choose what is more convenient for you today. And let's start relaxing the body. Let's start relaxing your feet. Releasing any tension in your legs. Releasing any tension in your belly button, in your abdomen, in all the pelvic region. Just relax, release. Maintaining all the time this connection between your breath and your physical body. Breathing deep, long, and at the same time exhaling soft and long. Relax your chest, your shoulders, your arms, your hands. Release any sensation of your physical body. Soften your neck, your face. Relax your mind. Release your thoughts. Let them go. Hand it in to the wind, so they are gone with the wind. They are gone with the emotions. Just relax. Keep breathing deep and slow. And we're going to enter into this space of nothingness, of just being. So for a period of time, I'm going to be quiet, just experiencing yourself, and whatever thought comes to you, write it down. No engaging with it. You write it down, you let it go, you come back to your breathing, visualizing your chest and your belly raising up, and when you exhale, feeling and visualizing your stomach and your chest being empty. Starting now, just be, nothing to do, just be. all the time. Just be the witness of the air coming in and out, and consciously paying attention to your breathing. Anything that crosses your mind, you just write it down to let it go. Everything can wait. And from this very moment, we're not gonna write anymore. We're just going to contemplate our breath, the process of inhaling long and deep, and the process of exhaling soft, long, profound. Just breathe, relax, and experience. Be one with yourself. Your mind is focused on your breath. This is a moment of full awareness, complete consciousness on your breath, attention in what you're doing, which is only breathing. being completely relaxed, allowing the breath, the air coming in and out with no effort, witnessing the belly rising and coming down, witnessing the belly button coming in, going in, touching that inner connection with yourself. And now our breaths, every inhale and every exhale connects us even more with love. Just imagine that you breathe in love and that with every exhale you bathe yourself, your whole body with love. Bathe yourself with love. In and out until you completely experience changes in the way you feel, in how deep you breathe. Just breathe. Love. Stillness in the body helps to give you stillness in the mind, and it is the gateway to experience joy, happiness, love, wholeness, and being all with one. Now take final 3 deep breaths. Being grateful for what you reached today. Take your own time to feel your body, how it is touching the surface of the chair or of the floor. Feel that contact. Continue breathing deep and slow. Slowly, when you're ready, take your palms to your chest. Rub them, create this healing heat. No rush. Continue breathing deep and slow. And cover your eyes. And slowly come back. Take a moment to witness all your sensations, how you're feeling now, how you were feeling before. And when you're done, just open your eyes. You can drink water if you have with you. And please share with me your experience. How was it? Go ahead, Priyanka, unmute yourself and please share.
Uh, it was very beautiful for me today, and most important, I didn't sleep today.
Great!
I was I was connected with the meditation the whole time. Uh,
Today was easy to fall asleep because I left you for a long period of time by yourself. So you did great.
Thank you, thank you. I in the beginning I I saw water, but it was water everywhere, everywhere. But I didn't have the clear view of water, as if I was, I was peeping under the bars and seeing the water. So, so I don't know what does that mean. And just after that, when you said you just pass on with the feeling, you don't stay there, you just pass. A very weird kind of thing I saw. Uh, it was it was a caterpillar, long caterpillar which would not end, like 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 a big rope caterpillar. It would like keep on going, 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 and the back. I saw the back where there was like stones, crystals, blue crystal, and uh, purple and blue, all purple and blue, and it went on, went on, went on, like you, it went on and on and on and on.
Mm-hmm.
And at the last, when I rubbed my palms and put it on my eyes, I, I could saw blue small dots everywhere. And I could see a big round here in the center of my like third eye.
Beautiful, Priyanka. You were daydreaming. That means that your brain reached a different state. You went to, I believe, almost theta waves, not only alpha waves that we reach in meditation, but a little bit more. You were able to contact your subconscious mind. The subconscious mind talks with images, with symbols. You saw a fountain of water, which means cleansing, clearing, purifying. You saw a caterpillar, that is the starting point of a great transformation, because it's the archetype of transformation, of becoming a butterfly, which is something beautiful. It's a beautiful symbolism. You saw crystals going up, blue, 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 blue up, like the sky. No?
Mm,
Blue, if you
like
remember.
the stones were on the caterpillar's back, and it would not end, and the caterpillar was like as long as a rope, like it went on and with the stones on the back.
Which in a way shows like all the path that you can go up, up, go on and on and on, like all that is waiting for you. And the blue, which is the throat chakra, which is your power of doing it, which is also your expression, is a way of doing it, no? By expressing yourself, by having your inner power. So your subconscious mind is in transformation, basically. And it's going up, nowhere else but up and infinite.
kind of.
So it was a beautiful experience, and it's a treasure. Just hold it for you. What you experience is a treasure.
Right, Audrey.
So nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
It doesn't mean that the others, if you only concentrated in your breath, you did it just fine. You don't have to go like to daydreaming like Priyanka just to do it. Just by feeling a little bit more calm, you did a lot in your body. Who else would like to share?
I can share. Yeah, nothing like Priyanka, but I think hers was really beautiful and powerful. So yeah, there are a lot of messages
Thank
for
you.
you there.
Thank you.
For me, it was just really nice. It was like I thought, like, like what Deepak Chopra often says, like where you just feel feel your awareness because you're trying to release all the other thoughts and emotions that are going through you. And I just felt like as the meditation progressed, I felt like lighter in my head. And yeah, so I just felt lighter. I felt like, yeah, like something like there was a change in my field, like, maybe the
Mhm.
vibration or something. And then, yeah, then I came back, and but it was very nice and calm, and just being aligned with yourself, like just trying to be aligned with your awareness and nothing else.
Great. Were you able to have moments of no thoughts?
A few, I think, very like small moments where I was like, for a minute, I was wondering. But the minute I started wondering, obviously, the thought came back. Like I felt I couldn't feel my hand. So like
Mhm.
I had actually closed my hand and I was sitting like this, and then for a moment couldn't feel my hand, and I was like, are my hands touching each other or not touching each other? And but yeah, but that instant of wondering brought the thought back in. So then I realized I was touching each other, but I couldn't like feel my hand first.
Of course. Okay, great. It's a process, but then the idea is understanding that they are not your hands. That it is, like the ego mind saying, "Oh,
Mm.
I'm not touching my hands." Okay, there's a part in me that wants to feel the hands, but I'm just going to observe what happens with that mind and with that hand. No, so like this part
Yeah.
of witnessing.
Yeah, also
Uh,
like there are these birds chirping outside the window, and I could like hear them, and then it felt like they were chirping outside, but the sound was being created in my head.
okay,
No, you're just trying to observe the sound and how it kind of reverberates, like inside your head, like the chirp becomes an echo, and some it was interesting. It's like I hear them chirping, but I heard it differently this time. Like I was more aware of how the sound was, uh, echoing in my head and then disappearing.
great. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Actually, o sea, we just did one of the ways of Vipassana, which was breathing in and breathing out. But if you decide to do the other way of Vipassana, which is being with complete awareness of the present moment, uh, your memory is amazing. So when you are completely aware, for example, if I am completely aware in a yoga class, I am able to remember at the end of the class all the exercises of the teacher. I can repeat the class because I was completely aware. Your memory, it's amazing, incredible. So that sound of birds, for example, you will be able to replicate later again in your mind, or if you can just blow or whistle or whatever. But have it not like a thought of I remember the sound of the birds, but like with the exact precise tone because you replicate it in your mind. That is the power of also full awareness and the dangers of multitasking. When we are in multitask, way, let's say I am, yes, talk to me, I'm answering, I'm paying attention to you, but at the same time I'm writing here, and at the same time I'm listening to music, and maybe at the same time I'm having a thought, I am losing a lot. I'm losing a lot of the information. And later at the end of the day, when I am going to do the exercise of remembering, I'm not going to be able to catch most of the things. I'm multitasking makes us lose concentration and memory. In the other side, complete awareness, being in the present moment with your five senses, scientifically proved, gives you a lot of concentration, a lot of awareness, a lot of calmness, and this is what is going to help you out later, not to react, to take a moment to breathe and then decide how you would like to manage the emotion that you're witnessing and the thought that you're witnessing. This is a key. Only by doing what we did 10 minutes a day completely changes your way of living. And the benefits are seen in a week, are seen in a month, but performing this for 6 months, for 1 month, for 1 year, you are completely another person. So yes, let's see if later on we remember those birds. And the ladies in South Africa, how was your experience?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Adi, it was very good. I have realized now this is my meditation. This is what I want to do. Because I think when I was concentrating on my breath, is when I was going deeper and deeper. I did have thoughts, but I would quickly take them out and go back to the breath.
Yeah.
So usually that's not the case with me. I will dwell on the thought. Usually when I meditate, I will keep thinking about it. But this breath gave me a tool to get back to it. And I went deeper. I felt blood rushing on my hands. I felt all this. And then I felt blood rushing on my head so much so that I actually had to keep it down because it was too heavy to be straight, holding it. So I had to put my head down because it was heavy. But it was a deep meditation. Like I don't know how much we did for half an hour. What, half an hour? 30 to
Half
40
an hour?
minutes. I think in that half an hour, I can safely say like 10 minutes I was in a deep trance.
Okay.
It was strong and powerful.
It was very good for regression.
Yeah.
And what you experience is exactly what we need to experience. It is the calmness and the sensations inside your body. So what is going on with me? This, if you can do this for 10 minutes every day,
No, I
will
think
connect you. Sorry?
I'm going to do this. Like
Yes.
this this is something I feel I can go ahead with.
Mm-hmm.
From all the meditation till now.
Till now.
Yeah.
If
No,
if you're able to do it,
the blood rushing was, I never felt that. I didn't see any color this time, nothing. I was just breathing.
Your focus was probably on
Only
sensation.
breath and sensation. And I was conscious, like the tummy going in and out. I was focused on it.
the physical benefits of performing this exercise is that you are breathing more deeply, so you have more oxygen coming in. And because you are doing it more consciously and more calm in a way, there is a better nourishment of your blood cells because they
Yeah,
have
absolutely.
more
There's so much
time
blood.
to irrigate every organ, to reach every part of your body. And this is intelligent, so it goes where it needs to go. So maybe by breathing quickly, by being in a hurry all the time, we don't have enough oxygen at the brain, we don't have enough oxygen at the feet, at the hands, which if you notice are your extremes. No, it's easier to have blood all around here, but to reach every finger, to reach every cell of your brain, feet, is far, requires a process. So what you experience is something very normal that many persons experience when they take the time to breathe deeply, and it is that they allow themselves um, to carry the oxygen to those parts that we don't easily reach when we breathe normally.
Yeah, it makes complete sense what you're saying. And Adri, I just want to say that I have actually done a Vipassana course back home in India, the 10 days of not talking and meditation.
Wow.
And but I didn't feel this kind of sensation at that time. That time it was a grieving process for me. Um, so I remember in all my meditations, I was just crying most of the time.
Releasing,
Yeah,
cleansing.
yeah, I was going through a divorce in my previous 15 years back. So it was just a release most of the time, and I wasn't there doing the meditation.
You
I was
couldn't go
mostly
anywhere
crying.
with your
I was
mind.
mostly
Yeah.
crying.
But you
Those 10
needed
days.
that process of
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
cleansing.
it was amazing.
Yeah,
It was
absolutely.
amazing. I'm so glad I did that. But so this felt like what I read in the book. You know, what you asked.
Okay? You are in a different state from
Yeah,
that time. You have
absolutely.
passed from many other situations that have teach you or taught you a lot. For example, all what we faced together last year, what happened with your dad, how you are now, like these weekly sessions that we're doing. So you are now in a different state, ready to experience new things. So Sumi, there is the future, it are the gyms of the mind, not the gyms of the physical body. The futures are the gyms of the mind, because when humanity understands that with the mind you can control your physical body, there is no need to go to the gym. You are able to basically uh, program how you want to be, how you want to feel through your mind. And exercising the mind is doing this exercise that we just did of Vipassana, of mindfulness.
That's right.
So if you want to do yourself a favor, it's 10 minutes daily for
Yeah.
this breath, and you will
That's
see.
my plan.
Am
Thanks, Adri.
I right to believe, Adri, that perhaps this sort of meditation, the Vipassana meditation, helps a lot to people like me, for example, who are more restless, or you,
That's me.
Johnny?
I'm restless.
Yeah, because it gives us a focus.
I think that's what it is for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm a restless person.
So the brain exactly is not
So now
just giving
I'm
us a
thinking
lot
and I'm
of
going back to my
stuff.
breath.
Yeah, exactly. So it gives us one specific focus of attention, and then, like you said, it's up to us to keep bringing ourselves onto that focus all the time, until we are trained in properly programmed, like Adri said, programmed to just do it automatically. Yeah.
And Adri, obviously after the meditation, I was starving.
Yes, it made us very, yeah, it made us very hungry.
Yeah.
It,
Obviously.
as you say, Ali, it completely calms down the mind. Many
Mhm.
times, I, for example, need to do many things during the day, and I try to do this type of meditations in the morning. But when I'm going to sit to meditate, my mind is playing tricks on me, It's saying, but you have to do this, and don't forget to do that, and then concentrate in this and concentrate in that. And then I have so many things going around my mind that I cannot concentrate, and I don't have peace. I become anxious of something that has not even happened yet. But I have, this belief of maybe I'm not going to have enough time, maybe I'm not going to finish everything. So what happens is that I become anxious and everything, and it is just the power of your mind playing the trick on you. And then I say, no, I make this meditation. I make these 10 minutes for myself. And after I end up, at the beginning is difficult when I am that state of mind of thinking a lot and having all these thoughts. But when I focus and start breathing and calm myself, after the 10 minutes, I am very concentrated. I'm very efficient. I very easily grab what it is important, very easily take decisions, because you have cleared your mind. That's what happens with that. So yes, Ali, what you say is true. Barbara, Yolanda, would you like to share, please? You can activate your microphone again. Turn on the microphone.
I also have to agree with Sumi. For me, this was really the meditation. Because for the first time, I was not breathing with my chest, I was really breathing with my belly, and I felt more relaxed. Very good. Because I always have this, I don't know, where should I breathe? Should I breathe here?
It's more superficial.
Yeah, should I breathe here? Should I breathe there? It's like, but it felt, I didn't have anything that Priyanka had. I only saw colors.
Oh,
that's a lot.
Thank you, Alicia.
I only saw colors, shapes.
So it was blue and pinkish. But most of the time I see blue and pink. It's hard for me to see other colors.
That's impossible. Her face is like, oh my God, I only see blue and pink.
I want to see other colors.
It's not bad at all.
But it really felt good. I really could connect with my breathing, and really, I was able to put the thoughts like really aside. Not only acknowledge them, but really
Discharge, let them go.
go away. So that was really nice.
This is our meditation.
This
Great.
is our meditation. Yeah.
This is yours. Okay, great. When you concentrate in the breath, the breathing, it says to be that portal towards your interior, towards your inner side.
Definitely a door that you connect straight with you, with yourself, with your divinity.
And remember that when we sleep, or the babies when they sleep, the breathing has a lot to do with the belly, coming in and coming down. When we are in the womb, in the mother's womb, the connection, everything that has to be with the nourishment has to do with the belly button, with the stomach. It enters through that side. And when we go back to sleep, or if you see the babies, they sleep by the belly. And the relaxation is more profound. If you have a deep breaths through the belly, you have a better relaxation. And because you have a better relaxation, it's able to connect even more with your thoughts, with your mind, and with your belly button, actually. So like you have a complete alignment or coherence between these three centers. So there is a lot of science behind what we did with a very simple exercise. But I'm glad that you experienced all this, because that's how we integrate the knowledge with the experience. So it is great.
Yeah.
That's why doing this meditation, it's possible that you daydream, because you are completely conscious. You are not sleeping. You are awake, but you are having the same patterns or waves in the brain that you have when you sleep. And that's why, for example, Priyanka was able to visualize those things. All right, I would like to listen to Yolanda.
Just do it. Just go for it, Johnny. Sit here. Move it towards you.
Yeah, you can. hello, ladies. No, the first maybe 10 minutes I did relax a little bit, but I wrote a lot of things down. My mind is very, very active. I've got too many things I'm thinking about. So no, it wasn't for me, not today. I couldn't relax. My eyes were open maybe many times. No, I think I need to be silent at home, and I'll try it. I'll try it again. But my brain is just too active to be still. I'm really struggling with meditation. Yeah, that's me.
That's fine. No, that's fine. Maybe you can have the other method, which is actively, being active by paying attention and fully consciousness of doing something. Maybe you calm yourself better by doing than by not doing. So every person is different, and that's why I recommend that you really read these pages of the book, because they are going to explain you the three methods, like
Yes.
completely focusing on the breath at the nose at the entrance, completely focusing at the belly, or by performing something.
I'll try it again. But when I meditate, which is good for me, is walking, listening to nature sounds and walking step by step. That is a big form of meditation for me.
That is absolutely wonderful. If you're able to disconnect your mind just by walking, just by looking at nature, for example, you have your thoughts like this, ta 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 ta, but then you go for a walk, you try not to focus your sight in anything, you just try to look to the horizon or to the sky, or you can even go looking to the floor, but not paying attention that I'm going to fall, that I have to skip this path, that I have to jump this route. No, just like going and going and going, you are able to reach the Vipassana state, the state of no thoughts, of calming down. So don't worry if today you didn't experience that. It could be your state of mind today. Maybe today you are worried, but don't think that because you didn't reach any state, it didn't help you. I'm sure that you start in a way and then you end up in another way. So just be grateful for that little thing. Perhaps you say, no, I didn't reach this. Maybe your desire was to obviously experience more things. It was what it had to be for you today. Everything is a learning process. So, so you learn from this. And maybe something that I was going to tell to any of you, but I forget to say, maybe to Sumi, with what you experience, is that every time that we do Vipassana, is a self-discovery thing. So maybe it's how you get to know yourself. You can say, okay, when I do the meditation and I am in this state, this is what happens. I cannot connect. When I do the meditation and I enter into this, and I am entering into this other way of approaching it, I have this result. Because as you are able to do it daily, only these 10 minutes, you face, you understand how you behave, you understand how your minds behave, how your physical body behaves, depends on the mood or the place where you are, on the type of feelings that you're having. So if it is also a self-discovery journey, experiencing this. And obviously the idea is to take it a little bit outside of that 10 minutes. If you train yourself daily for 10 minutes after doing it a month, it is maybe possible to do it for a longer period of time, or it is possible to wake up, so to come back to this reality, to be completely conscious and keep breathing in that way. If I'm able to perform my daily tasks, breathing deeply, oxygenating better my brain, nourishing better my whole body, I am going to live in more peace. And I'm not going to react immediately towards the things that the other people tell me. Actually, this type of training is done. I think I shared this with you, with the soldiers in the United States, because as these people were so exposed to violence, every time that somebody like touches the elbow, like, hey friend, they just turn with the gun, and actually they have killed many of their own friends because this was the immediate reaction. I need to be protecting myself. They come out from the war and they were just like, if somebody calls them or if they just listen a sound, they overreact. That is what happened to us when somebody tells us like, oh, uh, mom, where is the food? The food is there as always. We are overreacting. And but we are full of, maybe other things because maybe the delay or it wasn't what you cooked wasn't what you wanted to cook or you don't like to cook and you have to do it. Whatever happens in your inner world, the other person doesn't know it. And we overreact towards these things. What Vipassana does and mindfulness does is that by breathing deeply, you have that second, that connections of the neurons immediately that happens in the speed of thought that is super quickly, that gives you discernment, that helps you to determine if that is what you really want to do, because that has a consequence. This happens in less than a second, but by breathing, mom, where is the food? It is over there. It's, and actually this experiment, after 6 months of being performed in the US Army, they noticed that they were able to reduce the anxiety, to reduce that feeling of persecution, because they had like this persecution feeling. That's why they needed to defend themselves. And they were also able to control what they were feeling. They were able to control their reactions. So this is the invitation for today's class, to perform the Vipassana, because it has many, many physical, physical benefits. It has a lot of mental benefits. All the ones I mentioned, it has the concentration, the awareness, the memory, the activating more parts of your brain, bringing to consciousness many things that are in the unconscious mind. So it actually has a lot of mental benefits, actually making more connections in your brain, so making more logical ways, amplifying your perspective, clarifying your mind, helping you to discern, to the process of discernment, which means that you are going to easily take more decisions, be able to take decisions that are more clear for you, more aligned with your heart, with your mind. So 10 minutes of this exercise daily is like going to the gym with your brain. And you are going to be able, by getting to know yourself, what are the things that you can reach with your brain, which are plenty. The mental body, the mental state is very, very, very powerful. Bye, Yolanda. Take care. You can activate the microphone again. Yes. Sometimes there is like a lot of, I mute yourself because there is a
I
lot.
have to ask a question. So does it have to be only done while sitting? But what if I go for a 10-minute walk and I just do my breath? Is that same thing?
Excellent, excellent. Actually, what monks can do is that at the end, they integrate the three methods. They integrate the three methods. They do their tasks by breathing deeply, raising the belly, and concentrated in the breath. They are so concentrated in the breath that whatever happens outside, they cannot judge it. They reach a point in which they don't have to stop judging, in which they cannot judge. And when they cannot judge their reality, they live in complete happiness, because nothing is good or bad. If you read the book, if you read these pages, you will understand how they integrated three things.
Yeah, I think
I'm
I
not,
agree.
I'm not going to start telling you you have to do the three things, because then your mind is going to say, am I breathing okay? Is my belly going racing and going down? Am I walking? Where are the thoughts? Like, there should be too much. Just do the the procedure that is easier for you, and then, because you get to know yourself, you start integrating one thing, you start integrating the other thing, until everything comes, actually it will come very natural.
Yeah. Hmm. Very
Okay,
nice.
anybody has more questions? Okay, so we basically did today that thing that is called the spirit of meditation, that there is something alive that we connect with, which is our supraconsciousness. We talk about the essential or the core of the meditation, which is basically our consciousness, which is how we discover our consciousness, just to be aware, with the process of being aware of that. And because I am aware of what is going on internally in my physical body, because I am aware of what is happening in my thoughts, I can decide. I can decide if I go with this thought, if I definitely don't continue with this thought. I can decide if I follow this emotion and I engage with this emotion, or I don't engage in this emotion. And then that is what is going to help me to manage myself. So that's the awareness, doing everything with consciousness. And obviously, if you decide that you're going to perform this exercise of breathing deeply and everything in your daily tasks, paying full attention with your five senses, that awareness is also recreated, not in the moment that you're meditating, but in your daily life, and you can act with consciousness in everything, which is doing your best, enjoying as much as you can every instant, living your life with the full potential of living the life. How do you do this? By breathing the moment. Breathing is the portal that takes you to awareness. Every time that you change your mood, take a deep breath. Remember, the speed of thought is super quick. Only with that breath, you can change the action, the reaction, for a conscious action. Take a breath in those moments. Um, then you are going to have the techniques that are explained in 43, the from form of Vipassana 1, form of Vipassana 2, the third method. And we did the Vipassana meditation sitting down. That's what we did. So, as I told you, unfortunately for me, I cannot make the Vipassana with you walking, but please don't lose this opportunity of doing it. Read it. It is in page 45. Hopefully, if you have read from the page 40 to the 45, so you can do a really conscious Vipassana meditation walking. Choose a beautiful place connected with nature to do it. Choose it, make it, enjoy it. And in the next class, we are going to do the Zazen method, which is the last meditation. And then there are a couple of other two meditations that are pending. And we do like our closing, our uh, final act, graduation of two, the test that we're saying. But more than a test, is just like a discussion of the main concepts to know, like if you have those concepts clear, okay? So any of you have more questions or anything? Remember, the homework is to do the Vipassana walking. Priyanka, you want to say something?
So, yes, Adri. So, I wanted to ask in between, you mentioned multitasking is a bad thing for meditation. It affects your meditation. So, like being a woman, I think most of us get very used to multitasking, doing so many things at one time. So, so, so this we should consciously stop doing multitasking most of the time, or we should try to reduce it. What exactly? Is it really bad for the daily life and it affects your meditation?
Multitasking affects you in all your dimensions. Physically, it increases the blood pressure. Meanwhile, mindfulness and Vipassana reduces the blood pressure. It creates in yourself anxiety and stress. Stress is something that everybody now considers something normal. But as Eckhart Tolle says, it is not something normal. It is a collective disease. Now everybody suffers of stress. And because everybody suffers, we believe it's normal, but it is not normal. It is not natural to live under stress. Stress has a lot of biochemical reactions in your body. It is releasing hormones that are negative. You are releasing adrenaline and you are releasing cortisol every time that we are in a hurry, that we want to do something quick. And multitasking is something that exposes us to all these. So physically, it has a lot of negative consequences. Mentally as well, because you reduce the concentration in one thing. You reduce the possibility of activating the right side of the brain, which is enjoying, which is when you do something like performing art, when you are singing or drawing or something, what you are expressing and how you're feeling is like in calmness. It's like you're so happy doing that there is no time running. Meanwhile, where we are in multitasking is something that we want to do quickly, 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 just finishing, just like to comply. So I comply,
Right.
comply. At the end, you will experience a positive feeling, which is I did all, but how you did it
I didn't
was
put my heart into
negative for
it.
you. So it doesn't compensate the good feeling at the end with how long you were exposed to these other things that biochemically you were experiencing. So not only for meditation, but for your daily life, being multitasking doesn't create an environment of happy living. And what it is scientifically proven is
Mhm.
that living a life that it is also only of complying, only of I have to do my life in autopilot. This is what I have to do. This is what I have to do. This is what I have to do. Instead of this is what I want to do. This is what I enjoy to do. This is what I love to do. Creates suffering. It's completely different how you live your life. If you're living the life that you have to live, or if you're living the life that you want to live and that you love to live. That in the process of life after 80 years means that you lived a full and happy life or that you waste your life.
Right.
And it is a decision of every given moment.
Thank you, Adri.
Mhm. I can't hear you, Ali. You're muted.
I said that this is very conflicting because I cannot ask my husband to multitask.
No husband, no husband can multitask.
That is really
But
bad. No, but one say congratulations, you're doing Vipassana.
That is only women thing.
no, no, I will say to that, to just to add to it, like yeah, multitasking has been stereotyped. It's what women do, and
Right.
as Adi said, I agree. It's a myth. Science also says it doesn't work, and I have always very proudly said, "Don't expect me to multitask. I cannot multitask, and I don't." So a lot of times, my other friends will say they did these 10 things
You
in
are
the day.
blessed.
I would have done 3 things, and I'm fine with it.
Malika, you are blessed.
Yes.
Malika, you've already attained nirvana.
Yeah.
My brain fries up if I have to do 2, 3 things at the same time. I
Blows
cannot.
up. Well, remember, in the world of energy, there's nothing good and there's nothing wrong. It is how you experience it. If you are a happy multitasking person
Yeah.
and you enjoy it, perhaps you're in the right path. But look what it is
But
behind,
that take
okay?
your calm away. That doesn't keep your doesn't keep you calm.
If it doesn't keep you calm, try another method.
Swati,
Right.
next is the last class. Next one.
We
For
have next
you.
class next year. Sorry, next week.
Yeah, next week is the last one.
The last one for level 2. Yes.
Got it. And then when are you thinking of starting level 3?
And we are planning to start level 3. We haven't talked with Ali yet.
Okay.
Actually, Barbara requested me for me. I have to check how many lessons we are going to do. We still don't
Right.
know all the classes. We have to check, but Ali is leaving,
I'm
and
with 28.
I also need to leave for a week. So I think that after that week we give you a plan. Uh,
Okay.
Give us this rest.
No, because I remember Priya told me that level 3 is a shorter level, right?
It is a shorter level. When we do it present, let's say, it takes usually 1 month, 1 month and a half, depends on the
Yeah,
group. Obviously, virtually, it can take a little bit longer because
of course.
when
Of course.
present, we do it 3 hours, no? Virtually, we're doing 2 hours.
Right, right.
We're skipping, we're skipping many nice things, which are like these conversations and all that are possible. But I will say that it will take about the same 1 month and a half or 2 months. But I have to check, like to
Okay.
plan every class and say this topic to this class, this topic to this class, and then we let you know.
We are going to short level.
But
Okay.
Adri, I have a question.
Adri, I think yeah, we just need to be careful it doesn't, I think, go into the summer holidays or whatever
Yes,
plans people have. Because I definitely want to do level 3. So I want to make
Even I
sure the
want to do.
timeline works.
even
Even
I
I
want to
want to
party,
do.
so please
And you want
stay.
to do it too. Yes, Priyanka. I don't know if maybe it's easier for all of us if we started in June or July.
Yeah,
What do you
yeah,
think?
I perfect. For
Instead of
me, perfect.
doing it in May, because if it takes May and half of June, maybe you're living on your vacation. Maybe it is better if we do it in the other half of the year. What do you
For
think?
me,
Actually,
June
May
is
and June I
perfect.
can do it. Like May to half
I'll
June.
play it by ear stuff because my daughter's vacations are different. So in July, I will definitely go to India.
So what it will be good? Why don't you please write in the chat your, like,
Dates.
when would
Okay.
it be good? And we just plan
Okay.
considering most of you and also us, Ali,
Yeah,
so we can have a better idea. So like,
Okay.
yes, if we write in the chat who would like to continue and what will be your availability, and we
sure.
plan it,
When
okay?
to start?
Mhm.
Okay. Thanks, Adri. I'm also going to go.
Okay,
Okay.
bye. Good night.
Adri,
Malika, you want to say something?
please send the
No, no.
meditation. Please send this meditation to us.
Yes, I will send this recording. I'll send this recording, and yeah, we just have to, because these meditations, because these classes are longer, the recording, I'll have to upload it in YouTube.
Okay.
I cannot send it through with transfer. Um, but then you just have to check in which minute it starts, and then you just take the meditation.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm back.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Take care. Good to see you.
Bye. Bye. Have a great
Bye.
day.
Bye. Yeah.